So, with expat property tours, a lot of people are in that place where they're still thinking about moving abroad, or they're in the planning phases of moving abroad. So, that you have so many years of experience with it, what would you suggest people start with if they are interested in moving abroad?
I say start with you're making a list. What are the things that are really important in your life? Are you at a point where you're trying to further your education? Are you at a point where you still have these career goals that are your ideals and your foundations and how you want to live your life? Do you have children? Are you concerned about their education? Are you concerned about their safety? Are you concerned about how you're going to juggle work and children? Do you want to open a business? Like, what is the most important thing to you in your life? If you want to open a business, there's some countries that you shouldn't even be looking at. You know what I mean? There's some countries where it's really, really difficult. If you know that you really want to buy a house and you want to have a property somewhere, well, there's some countries where you'll never be able to own a property. So what's really important to you in your life? Put 3 things at the top of your list. Take out every idea that you have about every country and put those 3 things at the top of your list, and then start working backwards. So does your country that you have in your mind fit into three things? And if it doesn't, then what places do? Because I find a lot of people go places, and I have as well, with one idea, and then you get there and you're like, oh, this isn't possible, or this isn't going to work out, or this isn't, and you don't want to be so discouraged because you spent years building up to this. So think about, if your future goals are actually possible in the places that you're already dreaming about, and then work from there. If you want to buy property, then find out what that process is like there. Do you want to work online, or do you want to work at a place where you have coworkers? As a person that works online for so long, I miss office gossip and, I don't have any of that stuff anymore. So is that interaction important to you? And if so, then what is the work culture like there? If you're a woman, will you have a chance of getting promoted? If you're a person of color, will you reach the levels that you want to? So yeah, start with what your priorities are before you start with the places that you want to be at.
Thank you. Yes, nothing can beat research. You have to know yourself, know what you want, and then from there you can start finding places that are going to match those requirements. So thank you. You, again, with so much experience, and I know you've learned a lot as you've gone through this over the years, but if you could kind of go back, what do you know now that you wish you would have known when you first started?
God, oh, so many things. I wish that I knew more about how to be quiet. Honestly, I think that as a Black woman, a Chicagoan, we have this certain energy that we often have. Not everybody has the same personality as me, but we all have this sort of energy that we're used to being heard, and we're used to being aggressive to get what we want. And Africa has taught me that sometimes you just need to give a look quietly, and it is more powerful than all the yipping and yapping,
Oh, yes.
Be more intimidating and more powerful and communicate my seriousness in situations than all that, well, how are you going to give me this price, and all of the things that I used to do, all of the attitude that I used to have. That didn't work in Africa. They just were like, you're American and you're loud, and we don't want to hear it. But as soon as I learned how to be quiet, I was like getting the prices I wanted and getting the respect I wanted, and letting my power come from within more so than outside, being less reactionary and honing in on that power. And I really wish I knew how to look up the Wi-Fi. I spent I spent a whole year like going around, being pissed off, trying to find adapters and extenders. And so I'm much better at researching Wi-Fi now.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's important, especially if you need to be online. So, you go, it's such a given here, to be in a place without Wi-Fi, you don't even consider it. So that is one of those things where it's like you go and you're like, oh, wait, maybe I should have thought about this. And so thank you for reminding us to keep that on our radar. You've given us so much today about, what you should do and how you should prioritize your needs. Is there any other advice that you would give to someone who is thinking about moving abroad?
You can do it. I see so many people. I guess I feel very sensitive to the women that feel that they don't have like the kind of family support they had. When I told my family I was going to do this, they were like, okay, bye. But everybody's not dealing with that. Everybody is, some people are dealing with family that's really trying to get them to not do it. Life is short. Life is very short. And if you're curious about something, go and find out. Don't let somebody else tell you what their experience was like. Don't let somebody else tell you what worked for them, because what works for me may not work for you. So go and find out what works for you. And especially if you're from the United States and you're watching this and listening to this, there's so many nice, beautiful, amazing, wonderful places and people and cultures in the world and lifestyles that are equally, if not more amazing and fruitful. We have been taught this idea that the United States is number one and it's the best, and no lifestyle outside of the United States is better than what we have, and that's just not true at all. So if you haven't traveled abroad and you're thinking about moving abroad, then go and find out and see for yourself. Do your research on wherever you want to go. Make sure that you're centered in what your needs are, and that your needs are going to be met before your wants are met. That there's tons of people, bloggers, resources, groups out there to help support you on your journey, and you can absolutely positively do it. So, live your life and enjoy it to the fullest.